I don't know about you, but I'm a big fan of the router table. I built this one maybe 25 years ago, and if I was to build another one, I don't think I'd change very much. The design's pretty simple. I've just got a bit of perspex on the top, which would probably be 1/4 of an inch thick, and that's the thing I use as the plate for mounting the router on, and then I've simply got a fence at the back. Now, over the last 25 years this has worked pretty well, and the only change I've made in recent times was I added a switch at the front to switch it on and off. And the reason I did that is because on these Makita routers, if I can just show you here, the switch to switch it on and off is there, and the switch to raise and lower, oh sorry, not raise and lower, to lock the base in place is right next to it. So I had these visions one day of putting my hand under there where I couldn't see and attempting to either lock or unlock the base plate and switching it on instead. So that's the only change. Now, as I said, by and large it's done a pretty good job for 20 or 25 years, but the only thing that's really bugged me in all that time is I haven't had an effective way to raise and lower the height of the bit. And I know if you look on YouTube you can find a dozen videos on there that will show you designs for doing it, and typically it means building some kind of base to sit the router on, and then it's controlled by a threaded rod or something like that. It's one of those things that I've always had in the back of my mind to get around to building, but I've never actually done it. So I've persisted with sort of getting down like this, and I grab the handles on both sides and I lift it up a little bit, and then I lock it in place, and then I bring the piece of material over and I check the height of it. It's never right, so then I get underneath again and I lower it a little bit, and quite often I'll actually cut the piece of material and then find out I'm still wrong and have to come back and do it again. So what I really needed was something that was a little bit more convenient and a little bit easier to control and gave me some sort of micro adjustability. As well as all the shop built ones that I've seen on YouTube, I've also seen on places like eBay that you can buy ready-made ones, and typically these are made by companies like Craig, for example, and I've seen prices anywhere between $200 and $500. Now, given that I only paid $100 for this second hand, there is no way in the world that I was going to pay another $500 just for a way to raise and lower it. So you can imagine my delight when on eBay a couple of weeks ago I came across this. And let me try and give you a better view of it. This is like a mini scissor lift, and it's made out of I think on the YouTube ad he said it was all stainless steel, and it probably is. I don't really know. Anyway, it looks really well made. It's good quality, and it works. So let me show you what happens. On my router, what I had to do is I had to put like a shelf under the bottom of the router base. So I got a length of pine, and I just ripped it to size, which is about the same width as this, and then I just attached it with 2 screws on the bottom of both sides. So literally it was a 10-minute job. And then it's simply a case of taking this and putting it underneath, and then undoing the lock on, and then simply wind the handle and up she goes. To lower it, of course, you just do the opposite. Let it down like that, and once again wind it, up she goes, and you have very, very good micro control over it. So that seemed the perfect solution for me. Now, I said earlier there's no way in the world I was going to pay $500 for that, but I would pay $36.20 for it, including postage, and that's exactly what I paid. So my suggestion is, if you have the same need for control over your router, I'd suggest you go and buy one of these. They're on eBay at the moment. If you just search for router lift and then sort by lowest price, then this will come up on the bottom. So as I said, that's my recommendation.